component is having a population that is contributing meaningfully. One of those populations have been women. They've been very much within that bracket of being vulnerable, but coming up in a lot of ways that very much have been well coordinated. One of the main agencies coordinating this is Plan International. Their Ghana office, they are undertaking a project they call the WISE Project. But let's talk about it, how that is helping women, that also propping them up to make sure that their skills are shored up and their innovations are also put out there for everybody to know. And we have great representatives from the project itself, as well as their allied partners like the AGI, for all of us who have an insight into this project. So let me just introduce Patricia Jan Basau. He's the project lead for WISE. She's with Plan International Ghana. Thank you for joining me, Patricia.
Thank you.
And then also in the middle, sandwiching, we've been sandwiched by the two women, is Johnson Opoku Boateng. He is with the Association for Ghana Industries. He's in charge of business development for services, or business development services as a director for AGA as well. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
And then also I have Rose Aulena. And I hope I pronounced the name well.
Sure.
But do forgive me if my pronunciation was wrong. And she also is with the project as a specialist. And thank you very much. But my first question definitely will have to go to you, Patricia.
Right.
This project, what do you call it? You just give me the short form as WISE, but what really does it mean, that acronym?
So WISE means Women's Innovation for Sustainable Enterprises Project.
Okay.
Yes, and it's been an exciting time for women for the past 2 years since the inception of the project. What we are seeking to achieve as a project is to increase the realization of rights for women on women economic empowerment, well-being, and their economic growth in the selected districts that we are working.
And which of the districts are we working with? I mean, which of the areas have been captured, Rose?
Okay, so we are working in 4 regions, and then in 5 districts and then municipalities.
Okay.
So we talk about the Ahafo region, and then we are in Tano North municipality. Then we are in the Bono region, that's Sunyani municipality. Then we are in the Bono East, which is Techumai municipality. Then you go to Northern region, we are in Tolong and then Kumbungu districts. So those are the five
main areas.
Yes, please.
But Patricia, you mean that we're working in specific areas? Which areas would that be? Like, are you
of the intervention?
Yes, of the intervention. Are they manufacturing corned beef, or what are they doing?
Okay, so we are looking at 2 main business streams. The first is the soya value chain. So we are supporting women within the age cohort of 19 to 55 years. And as a project, we are targeting over 12,000 women.
Wow.
And any woman who has an interest or has a business along the soya value chain, the project is supporting her. Also, women in green businesses like beekeeping, mushroom rearing, and mushroom farming and snail rearing are also being supported on the project. Okay. So those are the 2 main business streams.
That's a great one. I'm talking about business. That's where definitely AGI will come in. And how do you come in, and what have been some of the support and services you've been undertaking?
Okay, thank you. So, I mean, obviously, when you talk about business, you talk about AGI. Okay, and we are trying to look at, you know, the strategy has been to move micro businesses into small businesses, move small businesses to medium businesses, and then we get to the large businesses. So we come in at this point because we need to grow the base. Okay, and we are very interested in women businesses, because, you know, we have AGI Women in Business, and so we are looking at that you know, to support this program. We have a community of mentors, okay, and trainers, and we're using these mentors to actually talk to these women and bring them up to the level that they are supposed to be in all these 5 districts that Rose actually spoke about. So that is where AGI comes in. Yeah.
And Rose, when it comes to the areas, what exactly do you do? I mean, just mentioning the broad areas of soya as well as snail rearing.
Okay. So just like Patricia mentioned, when you take the soya value chain, as a project, we trained a little over 2,000 women this year on good agronomic practices. Wow. And then these are women who have been doing soya cultivation over the years. And then we also brought on board a few women who have interest by virtue of the project. They've developed interest to go into soya cultivation. So we also considered such women. And then we trained a little over 2,000 of them. And then out of the 2,000 something that we trained, we narrowed down and supported about 828 of them with a number of inputs that they could go into their soya cultivation. So when you take those who have been cultivating soya over the years, as a project, we supported them to expand their acreage. So maybe the woman has been doing 1 or 2 acres over the years. So as a project, we supported her, and then she increased by 1 acre more. And then the new ones, we just limited it to just 1 acre once it's their first time that they are going into such a business venture. And then the support services ranged from tractor services so that they could prepare their farmlands. Then we provided them with improved seed, soya seeds, inoculants. And then we also provided them with tarpaulins. Then we have the MOFA, that's the Department of Agriculture at the district level, who are also monitoring their farms, and they're providing them with the necessary technical support as they go through the production season. It's almost near harvesting time, and then we are making arrangements to provide them with harvesters and threshers to help with the harvesting of the produce that they will produce. Then when you take the green businesses, that's the snail, the mushroom, and then the beekeeping, we trained a little over 800 of them in those 3 business ventures. And out of the over 800 that we trained, we narrowed down and supported a little over 300 with the immediate equipment that they would need to be able to start these businesses. So you take a snail farmer, a woman who is venturing into snail, what is it that she needs to construct her snail pen or the cage to be able to establish that business? So we make all the materials available for her. And then those going into mushroom, we supported them to also construct the sheds where they will house these mushroom bags. And then we provided, as a startup, we provided the a quantity of the mushroom bags, already made mushroom bags, so that they will just start cropping the mushroom right away. Those who are going into the beekeeping, we've provided them with beehives and then other protective equipment that they would need to wear when it's time to harvest the honey. So those are just the things.
You wanted to ask something, but before you come in though, I know that after you do all the support, and there's a second or third year of the support, so to speak, I think that will be the second year, because ultimately by 2024 the project will be over.
Right.
Okay. Ms. Opoku-Boateng, if you take a look at the training, the technical support, the support that is given to women, at the end of the day, when the production ends at a cycle, they will need to be given some skills like bookkeeping and some of those things. Are those things that AGI is very much interested in this project and that you're undertaking?
Yes. So thank you, Roland, for that question. You know, at the moment we have very seasoned mentors who are actually handling them. There are 2 aspects that AGI is actually picking to ensure that we're able to help them develop their own business plans. The issue up north with respect to language is the fact that for the north, majority of them speak Dagbani, right? But we are trying to get our mentors to help them. So that we are able to develop a business plan that they understand, that syncs with them. But the point is that by the time we go to the bank, they want to see a document in English. So we are trying to do that. Okay, so the mentors are helping them. Number 2 is what we call the business linkages. Okay, because you see, once you've prepared them, once the produce is ready and is out there, they need a place to sell. Okay, so we are trying to link them to our members, the AGI big members, all right? So for those in the soya value chain, we are linking them to businesses or industries in the soya processing so that they will be able to pass on directly. Issues on bookkeeping and so on and so forth is being merged into the mentorship program. So by the time the mentorship is over, they've been able to pick these basic skills that they need to develop their businesses. For those in snail and mushroom, because our big industries are not picking snails and mushroom directly, we are trying to help them with packaging, training on packaging, so we'll be able to add value, okay, and then supply to the supermarkets. And we are giving them training on how to do that. So most of the training will involve marketing, how to brand their products, how to market the products, and so on and so forth. So it's a total package, and we want them to be fully immersed into business. By the time the intervention is ended, we are expecting that they will be fully fledged business people who have interfaced with industry and also with the supermarkets.
Wow, that sounds very fantastic. Because, Patricia, very oftentimes, you know, we as reporters, we tend to go onto the grounds. Right. We tend to see how women are very much vulnerable. And so empowering them gives us a lot of encouragement, knowing that a lot is being done to ensure that they become very much independent. In trying to do so, I know that you have what they call the women-friendly hubs.
Right.
How do they fit into all these in empowering these women at the communities that you've targeted?
Right. So let me pick it off from where Johnson ended.
Fantastic.
He said it's a total pack.
It's a total
and it
pack.
is because the project is designed in such a way that aside the fact that we are building their capacity and supporting them start their business, we have thought through to know that until there is an end user for the produce that they produce,
yes,
then they will not be in business. And so we have a marketing component, which is bringing on board AGI to link, but also we have Isoko. Isoko has built a platform we call Offers and Bids. So as part of the interventions at the hub, there is going to be a platform where a woman has a number of soya beans, a number of bags of soya beans, and can go there and say, I have this number. They put it on the platform, and an aggregator in Kumasi or Accra can say that I want it, and she can get to negotiate for the price she wants her soya to go for. That is how competitive we are making our rural women. We are saying that the hub, we call it a one-stop shop for a woman business owner, where she can go and access all the critical services she needs to be able to move her business from scale A to scale B.
Wow.
This includes enterprise development services, where we have our partner, Ghana Enterprises Agency, supporting us with services from their business advisory centers at the district level to provide these trainings for our women. We also have Isoko and the Department of Agriculture providing the support around agricultural extension services for the women who go into cultivation. And they would also support us with trainings for the women who would go into the green skills. Aside that is the marketing, offers and bids, and then buyer services.
Right.
We're going to do a number of fairs and exhibitions where we can get to showcase the businesses that these women do and the produce that comes out of it. Finance is a very critical component of every business.
Especially at this time.
And especially for women.
Especially at this time that we don't have money.
I tell you, for women, if a woman goes to the bank and they say, bring a collateral, once she does not have access to productive resources that she calls her own, for her to be able to put it out there to get the money, it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So we have a partner called Oiko Credit. Oiko Credit has brought on board a number of microfinance institutions in Ghana who have agreed with us to provide what we call gender-responsive services. So if a woman goes to this hub and say that I want a support of this nature, they are not first and foremost going to ask whether you have a collateral, but they have other means. For example, the woman is in a VSLA group where they have saved some money. That money will serve as a seed capital for them to be able to talk about it. Yes, so she'll be able to access the services that she needs.
And I do know that there's supposed to be a hub launch happening in Tamale. When is that?
You are right. It's happening on the 10th. It's an exciting time for women in Tamale.
Wow.
It's happening on the 10th of this month, which is on Thursday. We are doing it not in the Tamale city, but in a rural community called Vogo.
Vogo?
Yes.
That's closest to...
It's Kumbungo district.
Okay, great.
Yes, so that is where we have situated one of the hubs. The women-friendly solar hubs are 3 of its kind in Ghana. We have one in Tano North, one in Sunyani, and one in Vogo in the Kumbungo district. And so we're going to come together and launch the hub, tell Ghana about the services that it's going to render, and we're going to have quite a number of prominent people come on board.
I've loved your contributions, but before I wrap up, though, 2 more questions. One will go to you. We have social media now, a big component of how you tend to market. How are we trying to incorporate all that as part of the whole package?
Yes, very important. You know, we've put together a comprehensive but simplified package on e-commerce. Okay, which we've been rolling out for the past two years or so with the GEA and so on and so forth. So this person that we use, or the consultants that we're using from the AGI, is going to take these women through that.
Okay.
Once again, the challenge has been with social media for these women.
Okay.
And so we've actually called on Plan to help us. Okay, make sure that we have these smartphones to help them do that.
All right, thank you very much. And I've had some great interactions on this great project that has been implemented, the WISE project by Plan International, the Ghana office right here. I've had just closest to me, Patricia Jan Basao, who is the WISE project lead with Plan International Ghana. Right. And then also in the middle, representing AGI, he's the boss for Business Development Services at AGI, and Johnson Opoku-Boateng has been here as well, and Rose Aulina also is the WISE Enterprise Development Specialist with Plan as well. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Roland, can you permit me to say something before my donor refused to give me more money? So this we are able to do through the support of Global Affairs Canada.
Great.
They have provided the funding for us to do this project.
Global Affairs Canada. We thank you so much for your great contribution to this project with Plan, but also helping women in targeted areas for this WISE project to empower them to become very much independent. It's where we have to go for a break. When we come back, we have more right here on the show.